What's up, brother?
Yo, yo, yo.
Dude,
What's happening?
feeling like Charles Oliveira right now. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Like
Dude,
a,
what an electric card, man. I feel it was just incredible to watch him first round finish that. It was amazing.
dude, I think I messaged you today. I said it was like lunchtime, and I still haven't had a smile. I had a smile on my face just thinking about him winning last night in that fashion. Like,
Yeah.
oh, it was so electric, dude. I think the world needed it. I think the UFC needed something like that, especially for people who are real true fans of the UFC. They needed to see a win like that. And then I think Amanda Nunes kind of proved a point. You know what I'm saying? I think
that whole main event was super weird. I just think maybe the moment was too big for Aldana.
I think
don't
so
know.
too.
Like she just seemed like it was like the other thing, and I know like DC and John Anik and them like mentioned it during the broadcast, but like the handshakes after every round and stuff, like I'm all for like good sportsmanship, but like if you're Aldana and at one point you're down 3 rounds to none, you're not doing anything in the fight. Like it was just kind of like I don't know. It was just such a weird main event. Like I don't know. It makes me wonder. Like they knew Amanda was going to retire. Like is the whole thing rigged and set up? And Aldana just gave her this like send off. Like I don't know, bro.
Well,
It
if
just
I was
seems so
Aldana,
weird.
that I would not want to do. Like, I would want to go out there and be the one to beat her. But then again,
She didn't fight like it though.
she damn sure did not fight like it at all. Yeah, the main card, the pay-per-view itself was phenomenal. I mean,
Yeah.
got to give credit where credit is due. Canadians might be the most electric people in the fucking world after watching last night's card. They were on fire. We had fences collapsing, like rails collapsing on fighters. We had
Right.
we had beers flying. We had people screaming. That was an electric stadium. That was an electric arena last night for the Canadians, man. They showed up. They swept the floor. What? 4 fights, 4 wins, right?
Something like that. I want to say 5, but
Might have been 5.
I don't know exactly. Yeah.
Because I know Mike Malott was the last one to fight for the Canadians, and he ended it with a bang. And then
He did. Yep.
and then you had who else was it? You had Nelson, I think was one of them, who had a good finish.
Yep.
Yeah. Every single Canadian won last night. Kyle Nelson, Zahabi with the nasty knockout. The TKO.
Yeah, that was. Yep,
Yeah,
that was gross.
I think this is actually one of the rare times where you see like people, the hometown fighters, sweep the floor and win every single fight in their hometown. Like that's pretty.
Yeah,
that's a good feel good moment for all of them. You know.
I tweeted at your boy Jojo Giannetti last night during that card too, and said, seeing all these Canadians take wins, has me looking ahead to UFC Boston and just thinking, how do you not get that guy on the card, right? Like,
I mean,
how do you not get the locals?
Yeah, for sure. To talk about him, I mean, when we had him on, it just makes perfect sense. Like, the guy's a Boston guy. He's been on the Ultimate Fighter. He's on a 5-fight win streak. He's about to defend his belt again.
Right.
He wins this. It's in Boston 2 months later. Dude, something's got to give. Get him on the prelim. Get him on early prelim. Get him on something. Get him in there regardless of where it's at. Get him a fight and let the man shine in his hometown. They're putting people on, these cards that are garbage.
Yeah.
In the early prelims and in the prelims, so and like even that ladies fight to start off the night, dude. Oliveira, she was garbage, man. She got her ass whooped.
Yeah. Props to the girl. What was her name? That won that one. Yeah, she fought great. Yeah, she was awesome.
And then
she was absolutely awesome.
But you want a guy like Joe to be on a card in his hometown. He seems like he brings the energy. He brings a unique fighting style. He brings an electric fights. All of his fights are pretty much by finishes. So it's like, why not get a guy like that in there to bring that energy to start the night out?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that chick Oliveira, I do remember that fight now. Yeah, she was just she was not in her league, man. She was in a different league. You could tell.
No. And people were hyping her up too, which is very weird.
Well,
Like,
it was her UFC debut, I think.
yeah,
And
it
like
was.
from what she was coming from, I guess, you know, it was really exciting. Like it seemed like she was really good, but props to Belbita, man, because she was just
Well,
incredible. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know. The most important thing through that entire fight was Oliveira beating Dariush, and yeah, that was just amazing. I saw a lot of people on Twitter today backpedaling.
yeah, well, no shit, they're going to backpedal, dude. I mean,
Yeah,
I couldn't tell you the amount of people that are not. I don't want to call people casuals because Beneil Dariush is a good fighter. He's been on a hell of a fucking win streak here recently. I mean, I don't think he's lost in 4 years.
yeah.
I want to
I
say
mean, he was on a long streak. He's a beast. Like, but you're talking about the number one contender and arguably the most competitive division in the UFC. This is this was a huge step up. Beneil Dariush 2 fights ago won by decision to Tony Ferguson. Okay,
Yep.
a guy that like seems like everybody is finishing now. You know, I don't want to take anything away from Dariush. Like the dude's a fucking animal. There's no doubt. But you know, this is Charles we're talking about, dog.
The fact that the people that he came in as an underdog to me just blows my mind. Charles Oliveira held one of the strongest belt runs in the history of the UFC. He fought every single person that he beat was a top 5 contender in the lightweight division. He's arguably a top 3 best lightweight of all time. And
yeah, he's beating everybody in the top 5 right now.
Exactly. And then this guy, except for Islam, and then the guy comes in as an underdog to a guy who hasn't fought near as much level of competition. I think Vegas really fucked that up and really had things a little misconstrued about him losing to Islam like that. But
everybody did, Dirty. Like everybody did. There was all these weirdos on Twitter talking about, you know, like Beneil. I'm like, no. You and me agreed, and we talked about it before the fight. Like, no, I don't see it. I don't see it.
There was nothing going to change my mind at all. The second they announced the fight, I was riding with Charles the whole entire
fight. Yeah. So I did the one. I won't put him on blast or anything like that, but the one person I did see backpedal, right? The tweet said, well, guys, maybe we overrated Beneil just a little bit.
No shit.
And I was like, yeah, maybe, right? Like, yeah, maybe just a touch.
Glass Shaw Benny didn't show up for you last night there, did he, bub?
Yeah, I mean, and he looked good. Like, I think he was winning that round. But like that fight is every Charles Oliveira fight ever, right? Like
that is Charles, man.
Yeah,
that's what he does.
You're like, oh, he's losing, and then it's like bang, bang, head kick, left hook. Oh shit, Beneil's on the ground. Oh, it's over. Oh wow, what the hell?
The head kick setup to finish it off was just beautiful, man. I mean, when he got the kick, it kind of wobbled him a little bit, and then Dariush he didn't look like he was all that bad. It was when Charles managed to get his back and land that ground and pound was when it was all over. I mean, the leg kick started it, but yeah, man, all those people that really hyped up Beneil Dariush, just like, you must have forgot who the man who was the belt holder for 2-3 years.
Yeah. And I mean, it's tough. Like I heard you say top 10 all time, or what did you say? Top 10 all time in the lightweight division?
No, I said in the lightweight division, easily top 5, personally top 3.
So Fight Matrix has Oliveira right now as 8th all time.
In lightweight?
Yeah. So Khabib is number 1.
Okay. Conor number 2?
No.
Okay.
No. Conor's 24th.
Okay. Who's number 2?
BJ Penn.
Okay.
Eddie Alvarez 3. Dustin Poirier 4.
See,
Ben Henderson 5, Frankie Edgar 6, Rafael Dos Anjos 7, Charles Oliveira 8, Tony Ferguson 9.
No, I disagree with that because
Anthony Pettis to round out 10.
All right, so let's look at that top. Let's look at that top right now. Okay, Khabib, you can arguably say is the best lightweight. He never lost. Fair enough.
Yeah,
but still, though, Khabib, out of all the people that Charles have beaten, Khabib also beat the same people. Okay, except for outside of Conor, Dustin Poirier. You know, Charles finished him, and I still think Charles' resume is just a little bit better than Khabib's wins, in my opinion.
Well,
because
he's got more title defenses, that's for sure.
Definitely has more title defenses. He has more submission finishes. He has more now finishes in the UFC.
Yeah, he's tied for most all time, right?
20 finishes. So you're taking that into consideration. Then you look at a guy like BJ Penn. In the BJ Penn era, yeah, BJ Penn had competition, but it was not more than a handful.
Right.
Now you're looking at Charles's record and you're going backtracking a little bit, and his title run itself was what made Charles that potential top 5 best lightweight.
Yeah, I'm not sure how you have guys.
But like Dan,
like
Henderson,
I don't know how Dustin Poirier is above Charles.
I don't either.
Right? Like, I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure about that.
Dustin
so yeah, I mean,
4,
just
right? You know what I'm saying?
Dustin was 4. Yeah, so I mean,
yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
I think just based off of perfection and him never losing, it'd be hard to argue Khabib is not number 1. A lot of people argue Khabib being the greatest of all time, regardless of division. I'm not saying I agree with that. I'm just saying that people make a strong case for that, and it's valid.
Yeah.
So, like, as far as the lightweight division goes, Khabib, it's hard to argue. I'm not even going to touch that, whatever. You want to just do top 3, you have to have, I think you have to have Oliveira in there.
Yeah, you do. I mean, I'm cool with putting BJ Penn in there. I don't hate that.
Like an OG.
Like
OG, what about my man? What about my man who started the lightweight division, Jens Pulver?
I mean, Jens Pulver is a Hall of Famer. Don't get me wrong. Jens Pulver is probably top 10 lightweight. But then again,
this list has him on 16th.
Yeah, but then again, Jens Pulver didn't fight that, like, you know, he didn't fight the level of competition that those guys did as time went on. The level of competition in that division just got insane. You know, once you get past like the GSP, the BJ Penns, the Matt Hughes era, like that era of fighters, it starts to get, you start to get into the Khabibs, the McGregors, the Poiriers. You know, that era of fighting, that level of competition, I feel like outruns the OGs a little bit. But I don't know. It would be hard for me to not put Charles in the top 5 lightweight of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, I would understand an argument if he won a title and that's it, but he won a title and defended it 5 times.
Well, and that's what I think. That's why I think you see a guy like McGregor all the way down. Like for this list, for example, like you see a guy like McGregor all the way down at 24th, right?
Yeah.
But
then you could argue that McGregor, double champ, you could argue he's one of the top 15 best fighters. I think I've changed my mind a little bit on him just in the body of work. Like, I think what he did for the sport was electric, and like that time period was just insane when McGregor was winning and getting belts and stuff, but like he didn't defend any title, you know? So like, I don't know. There's another list here that I'm looking at that has Charles at 2, has Khabib at 1, Charles at 2, Dustin at 3. That's fair.
And then BJ Penn at 4.
That's fair.
Eddie Alvarez at 5.
A guy like Eddie Alvarez deserves to be up in the top 6, 7. So, I mean, in that
this
list,
also,
I agree with.
Yeah, except this list gets weird down the bottom. So, like, they have Islam at 10. So this says all-time greatest UFC lightweight fighters. Okay,
how the fuck are you gonna put Islam in the top 10?
Ahead of Donald Cerrone, Tony Ferguson, Justin Gaethje, Jens Pulver, Conor McGregor, I mean, yeah, I don't know. That's where it gets weird.
I guess if you want to say, I mean, Islam beat Volkanovski, fair enough, whatever. But he did come down a weight class or up a weight class to fight him. And then he beat Charles. That's about the only two fights that you could give him credit for. He does not deserve to be in the top 10 yet. Now, if he beats Charles again and then defends his title again, by all means, put him in the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if he keeps winning and he only keeps that, one loss on his record? Is that right? He only has one, right?
Islam? Who's that? Yeah, Islam. Yep.
One loss. Yep. So if he goes on a run and he ends up, finishing his career at like 26-1, you could argue that he's just as good, if not better, than Khabib, So I don't see him I don't see him making that kind of run. I definitely think he's beatable. To be quite honest, I think if you put a guy like, I know this is going to sound crazy, but if you put a rough and tough son of a bitch in there, like a Justin Gaethje that we just saw against Fiziev, on any given night, you put the right Justin Gaethje in there, I personally think Justin Gaethje could knock Islam out.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, Gaethje fought Khabib though, right? And Khabib choked him out. So,
but so
it's just that super high level of grappling that I like. They always talk about how much of an underrated wrestler Gaethje is, but he just wants to stand there and bang with guys, and which is great. But for somebody like Khabib, or in this case Islam,
but Islam is not a better wrestler than Khabib is.
No.
So that's why I took a guy. That's why I picked a guy like Justin Gaethje, because he's the one that I could potentially. He's not the best that could beat him, but if there was a guy that I would pick who could, one random moment in his point, he could beat Islam, would be Justin Gaethje, just because he'll stand and bang. He has knockout power. He can defend a takedown, and if he doesn't get submitted and stands with Islam can get knocked out, dude. I'm telling you, he doesn't have the chin that people think he does. Volkanovski pieced that motherfucker up.
Yeah, I agree.
If Volkanovski was in that weight class and a little bit bigger, he would have knocked out Islam.
Yeah, I mean, I still think, you could have given that fight to him too. I think that's going to be.
I mean, look at the face of Islam after it was over.
Right. I think that's going to be that's going to be the fight to make. I think, Volkanovski beats Yair Rodriguez. Then
that one I'm nervous about, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. That's another guy that's like Volkanovski's another guy that I don't know that I would ever put my money against, right? Like
you can't. You just really can't.
He's just so good.
Yeah,
he's too good.
Right. UFC 290 is going to be the most I feel like it's going to be one of the most unpredictable UFC card ever. All the matchups that we're getting are could go either way.
It's such a loaded. It is a loaded card. The prelims have Davison Figueiredo is fighting on the prelims.
I know is he fighting Manel Cape again? Is that set up again? I thought that got canceled.
I don't know. It's tough to. I'm trying to pull it up now.
I know the main event or the main card off the top of my head. I know you got
Volk,
Yair, Brandon Moreno,
Pantoja,
Pantoja,
Robert Whittaker, Duplessis.
Dude, Robert Whittaker is gonna knock out Duplessis, dude. That one I will put my fucking bank account on Robert Whittaker, and it ain't much, but I'll do it.
I have this like weird thing with Duplessis, but I think he's a lot better than people give him credit for.
You mean a lot better at faking it till you make it? Yeah, he is 100%. Dude, no, I'm riding now. Jalen Turner, that's my boy.
Yeah, always, for sure.
That's one of my favorite fighters in the UFC right now, and he's fighting Dan Hooker. So that's gonna if he can bounce off of that. I mean, he just took a huge loss against Gamrot, which is the guy who essentially lost to Benel Dariush. So if he can set that up to get Jalen Turner beats Dan Hooker, then maybe we get Jalen Turner versus Benel Dariush.
Yep. And then Bo Nickel is the first fight on there.
Trayshawn Gore, Bo Nickel.
Right.
So that one, dude, so many people are telling me, like, you know how much of a Bo Nickel fan I am, dude. I'm a big Bo Nickel fan. and everybody's like Trayshawn Gore. It could be the one to beat him. Dude, he better just be able to defend a takedown, because if Bo Nickel is smart, he will never try to stand and fight anyone.
Right.
He will take you down and submit you.
Right.
Period. So, I mean, but that's how many more weeks until we get that? 3 weeks. We got 3 more fight nights coming up.
July 8th. Yeah, it's July 8th. So we got a while. We got a bunch of fight nights.
I know we got Vettori
no more
and Cannonier coming up.
Yeah, that's, I think I hate Vettori personally, but whatever, that'll be all right, I guess. I just don't like him. I have not liked him since that last Izzy fight where he just held his waist the whole fight. Izzy was grabbing his ass and stuff. It was super weird.
He did perform pretty well though in his most recent fight. I think he does beat Jared Cannonier though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Vettori, Cannonier.
And you got Ilya Tapourier.
So Josh Emmett versus Tapourier. Tapourier is a killer.
Hey, but Josh Emmett can throw some damn hands. And Tapourier will throw too, but I think he better watch out, because we saw it with Yair Rodriguez that even Yair's weird striking style, if he didn't submit Josh Emmett caught him a few times.
Yep.
And knocked him down, and he got back up. But Ilya, he's a good prospect. If he beats Josh Emmett in good fashion,
he's 13-0, man.
Yeah, I know that division better watch out, because he might end up getting a title shot or a number 1 contender fight after beating
he's
Josh
gonna
Emmett.
He's gonna have to get a top 5. He's not even ranked, so that's the only thing.
Yeah,
what's he ranked?
Yeah, he's in top 10. Because Josh Emmett is like 6.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that'll be good, man. Yeah, that one will be good. And even the co-main on that, I'm looking at Macy Barber, Amanda Ribas. That'll be good too.
That's my boo right there.
Yeah, everybody's. But yeah, man, I just last night was fucking incredible. I mean, the main event was kind of a snooze fest, but
yeah, but we could talk about that though, because I think it's solidified. Amanda Nunes is the best women's champion ever.
Yeah, no doubt.
Without a doubt. Best women's champion ever. She had all the right to hang them up last night. Juliana Pena is a bum.
Yeah, she's just so weird, man. And I know,
that was such a weird energy.
She wants her trilogy fight, right? And even her Twitter, I think she said respect to her personally, so nothing against her personally, but I just think she wanted her trilogy fight so bad.
But she doesn't deserve it, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
she beat the first fight that when she lost, to my knowledge, Amanda Nunes first was sick that week. I think she had COVID or pneumonia or something that week. So she was weak. She hardly got to train. So she just wasn't there in the moment, which, cool. We saw all we needed to see in that second fight to know that Juliana Pena was not going to beat Amanda Nunes.
Yeah, I mean, there's not many people. Well, actually, no one really that's on Amanda's level.
None.
So I think it'll be interesting to see. Hopefully, that division's actually competitive now.
It's gonna be exciting to see now, because
and they did away with the featherweight division. Thank God.
I know.
Thank God.
Do you see they're thinking about bringing in atomweight?
Atomweight, which is 105, I guess.
So real small.
Yeah, so that makes sense. For women, I know one championship has atomweight men, which is crazy.
Oh my God, dude!
105-pound. Yeah, I haven't known anybody that weighed a man that's weighed that since I was wrestling when I was a freshman in high school.
Yeah, high school wrestling 103.
Exactly.
Dude, they're 5'5".
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's probably better for women's division than a non-existent featherweight. I hated the featherweight title, so I think
what was the featherweight?
Let it leave.
What weight was that? 130?
No, that's 145.
145.
Yeah, bantamweight. She was the bantamweight and featherweight champion.
That's right.
So I think letting that title go with Amanda it makes sense for the UFC
Well, there's
too.
not a lot of women who are 145 pounds that fight unless they want to be that heavy.
Yeah, I don't know. It's super weird. I mean, she defended that belt twice, I guess, but
because you don't have cyborgs anymore in the UFC. You don't,
right? Yeah, she's what in Bellator.
Bellator, yeah.
Yeah. But it's like a kind of a non-existent division, so it makes sense to just do away with it and start an atomweight. I don't, that could be cool.
Yeah, the small division might be pretty cool. I mean, yeah, we're gonna probably see no knockouts at all, but we might start seeing some jujitsu. Like, might start seeing some subs, some quick, fast chicks, and
yeah,
dude, based on some of the girls we've seen in the past few months, like you got chicks like Silva, the girl who fought on the fight night the week before last.
Yep.
That chick is off the chain, and then there's a few other ladies that are like really, really good prospects that are up and coming right now. So I definitely can't say that women's UFC has gotten boring. It's getting better, but we got to get some of the veterans out, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think we are. I mean, I think you're getting there. I think the strawweight is still the best division in women's UFC for sure.
I mean, I think Valentina Shevchenko, if she comes back, beats Alexa Grasso, which who knows, but I mean, I think she will, because I think she was winning the first one. If she can just learn from her mistakes, then
she made one mistake.
And she got
that was the craziest. Like that is a perfect example of why mixed martial arts is so amazing, because you can be winning the entire fight on points, and she's beating her up and she's picking her apart and she's hitting her here and there, and she goes for a spinning kick, and next thing you know, you got this girl on your back.
Yep. But I mean, you got chicks like Erin Blanchfield who are up and coming. You got, there's definitely a few chicks out there who are gonna be competing for high level belts. I know I saw that they said Erin Blanchfield versus Juliana Pena for the vacant belt. Sure, give it to me.
Yeah, makes sense. I don't think you can. You definitely can't give Aldana another shot. Not yet, anyway.
No, she's too old. She looked her age last night. Honestly, she didn't.
Yeah, that was so bad.
She got scared in the moment. I mean, I don't blame her though. I mean, when you got, one thing I've noticed about Amanda Nunes, dude, is when this chick is in the ring with you and beating your ass, and she's smiling the whole time, like she's just having fun.
I know,
dude. That's intimidating.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And it looked like she was I don't know. She was just shook from the beginning. So maybe just the weight of the moment. It's a big deal, right? I mean, you're main eventing a pay-per-view. You've never done it before. You're in front of a sold out arena. It's a huge step up than probably any of her last recent fights. So
for
I'm sure it was a crazy difference. You're waiting all night. As opposed to, I'm sure like Amanda, having done it so many times, probably has her routine and schedule kind of down to a T a lot better. But I'd be really interested in talking to somebody about that. Like, what kind of, like, how much difference does that make to a fighter that you're not fighting until, 12:30?
Yeah.
As opposed to, 9 or 10. Like, how much of a difference does it actually make? What's your routine like in that sense? And I wonder if it's just so different. They always talk about it in football with the Super Bowl, right? Like the halftime show at the Super Bowl is so long that most teams aren't prepared for that. Like they're not used to that. So teams are hot in the first half, for example. There was a
you watch your mouth.
and then you have this super long halftime performance and you cool off and whatever. So I almost wonder if like that played a part too. She's never been in that position
Well,
before.
I know the main card fighters typically get there a little later too
Right.
than the guys in the prelims and the early prelims. And
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I did hear, I don't know whose interview it was. It may have been Mighty Mouse's or someone like that. Like they get in there and the first thing they do is get taped up. Like they get their, they get taped up. So they're walking around with their gloves on for like 2 hours.
Seems like a lot of time.
Yeah. So I don't know. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I heard that from some fighter. I just don't remember who it was. But
I would assume that everybody's
cool
kind of, I'm assuming everybody probably has, some kind of like different routine, but yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was awesome, man. Thank God Oliveira won. Everybody on Twitter can shut the F up. Backpedal, keep backpedaling.
Yeah, buddy.
Glassjaw Daru strikes again. And, props to Nunez. What a career.
Hell of a career, man. I mean, she's got to be one of the most respected ladies to ever step in the cage.
She's the greatest of all time. She's the greatest woman to ever fight. I mean, there's really not a debate. There's no argument. Like there's not even, in men's division, it's so different. You can have all these different conversations and valid reasons on why who you think is the best. Like in the women's division, like who else? I mean, really, like nobody matches her numbers. She's reaching Anderson Silva numbers for title defenses.
Yep.
It doesn't get any better than her, man. She's the GOAT. No
I
doubt.
agree. Overs Club swept the floor last night too on the money line.
Hell yeah.
5-0 in the main card. So shout out to us. We still doing our damn thing. But Murky, man, I appreciate you jumping on, man. I know it was I want to start doing this now on Sundays if I can. Just a quick 30-minute get on. Just kind of
impromptu.
Just kind of get some things off the chest because man, I just get so excited that I want to talk about it. But then we wait till Wednesday to talk about it. I want to start getting that shit out of the way so we can spend more time on Wednesdays, kind of just discussing it, me and Nick, and then have guys like you join in because you and me are, we're always in the Overs Club on fight night. We show every fight, we mingle with everyone. We're talking in the Discord. We chat, we have fun, things like that. So having guys like you join us on the podcast is always a pleasure, man. So it's always fun to have you. And
no doubt,
we definitely, we never built this to just be me and Nick. It was, I started this for the Overs Club, and this is something I was passionate about, you know what I'm saying? So the bigger we get, the more I want to get the Overs Club itself involved because, MMA is a hard thing for people to catch eye, It's a hard, not everybody's a fighting fan, but if you're a fan of the Overs Club, if you're a fan of good conversation, if you're a fan of sports, fighting, martial arts in general, that's what we do this for. This is why we're here. So, anybody is more than welcome to join. We'll never be the type of people to be like, no, you can't join us. I mean, unless you're just a complete fucking weirdo, then, but like, you and you, we spend our times in the Overs Club on every fight night, which shocked me. I saw on Twitter last night, people were like, oh, you're watching the fight. Where are you watching the fight at? And you're like, you don't know about the Overs Club? We do this every week. And they're like, what? What's the Overs Club? Like, if you're,
I know. I figured everybody knew. Like, I figured people have known about this by now.
Yeah,
we've been doing this for a year.
Seasons, basketball seasons, UFC fights. This is what we do, man. So I'm telling you that this is one of our biggest communities that we have right now around the Overs Club is the MFAM. So if you're in the MFAM and you don't know about the Overs Club, you need to get in the Overs Club because we're all sport-based Discord. Yes, we are predominantly a betting Discord, but we show sports in the Discord, and it's built around a community of hanging out. So, and we just happen to be the martial arts guys. We love it. I love it. I wish my co-host was more involved, but this guy is like ancient Egypt when it comes to computers and Discord. So even getting him to do the podcast with me is always like, yo, man, I had to teach him how to run Discord. He had no idea. So
sorry, man, whatever. Take the wins when you can get them. You know what I mean?
He just ain't into betting and shit like that like we are. So I just get him on to talk fighting and we do our thing. So, but yeah, Murky, always a pleasure, man. I'll be on again with Nick on Wednesday. We'll have a big episode on Wednesday. We're going to talk about our PFL experience, which was phenomenal. Met a lot of
Can't wait for that.
Yeah, met a lot of cool people. Networked the podcast. Hopefully we can get some merch and stuff coming soon. Some stickers, some shit to help spread the brand. Some fitteds, yeah. Oh, I'll definitely have a hat coming soon. If there's anything that's coming first, it's a hat. So be on the lookout for that. And if you don't know about the Overs Club Discord, it's always in the bio of the YouTube and the Spotify's. Please join the Discord, mingle in the community, check out every single tab, whatever sports you like. And that's really it, man. Murky, I appreciate you coming on. It's always a pleasure, dude. And
appreciate you, bro.
Hopefully we can start doing these Sunday talks, little Sunday sesh. Maybe we'll call them the Sunday sesh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, you might have something there.
Sunday sesh. We'll get on, talk the previous fight night briefly, and just have good conversations about fighting. And then Wednesday will be our full long episode. So, all right, man.
Deal.
Well, we'll catch you on the next one, brother. It's always a pleasure.
All right, bro. Later.
Peace, man.